Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming into you live from Ontario of Canada as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach. It has been my soul's purpose to help you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison you find yourself in and build a life and the business that you're not only proud of, but excited to wake up to every single day and show up for yourself, show up for your business, and stop avoiding and procrastinating the very things that you want and desire most. So today, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different than I normally do. So normally, I do these videos, these podcasts, these guidance lessons, as today is Get Your Shit Together weekly live guidance with myself, Yana Kasperczak. I do them for women. But one thing I have been hearing numerous times from all the women that are in our Facebook group community, Heal the Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. And if you're looking for a community for yourself and you're listening to this podcast somewhere else and not in the group, then come and check it out. See if this is the community that you have been looking for. And if not, no hard feelings whatsoever, keep looking for it. But one of the things that they've been bringing up to my attention, and I see this in my personal life as well, is the need to have certain strategies that are specifically tailored to men to help them release stress, frustration and anger in a healthy way because it is so crucial for maintaining their mental health and their emotional well-being just as much as it is for us. It is important for the men in our life to have these healthy strategies, these healthy outlets for them as well. So if you're listening to this on a different platform, you can share this podcast with the men in your life. Otherwise, they can't come and join our group. Sorry. Sorry, but not sorry, because this is a safe space for women. Okay, so I'll keep it as short and sweet as I can and get to the point because I know men like things straight to the point and not too much jibber jabber. So I will do my best to talk less and at the same time get the point across. So I will share just 10 things that will help. And of course, it's not limited to just these 10 things. Feel free to share them with me any other things or ideas that come to mind for you, even expanding on some of them or adding to some of these ideas that I'm sharing with you today that has helped you to release stress and anger in your life in a healthy way. So the first one, I'm sure all of you have heard this and you know this to be true, and some of you might be avoiding it while others are really great at following through on this strategy. And that is physical activity and exercise. Yes. Physical activity and exercise is an amazing stress reliever. It helps exercise itself create stress in the body, but it also releases stress because that's the stress that you know and your body knows what to do with, while the external stressors, your body and your mind doesn't always know what to do with them, so it stores them within you, which can lead to anxiety, burnout, overwhelm, and even depression if not dealt with. And most of us have been conditioned to not deal with our stress, but just ignore it, put it aside, and deal with it tomorrow, deal with it later, and get the job done, do this thing, do the next thing, and keep achieving, keep reaching this invisible and yet visible goals or destinations, and sometimes not reaching it because we experience burnout. And a lot of these things, actually, most of them are also go well for women, but I'm right now talking more so directly to men. So physical activity and exercise, such as exercise and physical activities like running, jogging, sprinting, weightlifting, different sports that you play, maybe even doing stretching exercises with your partner and having that bonding time together where you are spending anywhere between 5 to 30 minutes, because I'm not talking about hours of exercise. Even 5 minutes can be an amazing stress relief. If you're feeling anxiety or overwhelm or stress, or you just feel like you can't do it anymore, get on your force and pump your chest. Do those push-ups. Do as many as you can until you feel like you can't do anymore, and then do one more. Always push yourself to do one more and get in the habit of just one more, just one more, just 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, especially with things that are good for you. Uh, one thing that is not on the list here, I'm gonna take a peekaboo. Not exactly on the list. I did not create a separate one for this. It will fit into healthy lifestyle choices, but when it comes to healthy lifestyle choices, is eating healthy, nutritious, whole foods, avoiding junk and processed foods, and looking into the difference between food and food product to help you understand the difference between two and help you identify what is considered to be food that you're eating and what is considered to be food product that you're eating. One is good for your body, the other is not. The other might have detrimental side effects that might not come through right away, and more often than not, they don't. But certain things that are made up of food products are the things that can stay in your body a lifetime. And you might not be able to ever get it out of your body. So look into that, go into that rabbit hole. I promise you, your life will change drastically and dramatically by simply eating food versus food products. And it's easier to identify than you believe it to be right now. Once you start to understand what food is and what food product is, it will be very easy to tell. And to just, give you the difference in a nutshell is that food is usually one to maybe five or so ingredients that are easy to pronounce, that are very clear, that have no scientific jargon in them, and are not natural flavors, natural colors. Nothing that says natural followed by whatever it is actually natural. It should be an actual ingredient. If it's a juice and it says natural flavor, it should just say, if it's orange juice, oranges. Maybe lemon or lime to make it last longer. Should have no preservatives, none of that. Because when it says preservative, how do you know which preservative it is? There's so many out there of these preservatives that you don't know what damage they could be doing to you now or over your lifetime. So a food is an apple versus apple juice that has a bunch of ingredients in there. If it's bread, it should be four, maybe five ingredients. It should be flour. And what kind of a flour? Look into that as well. It should not be refined flour. It should not be bleach flour, because why would you consume bleach or anything that has been bleached? And the fact that we think that all the bleach is taken out of there is questionable. Flour, yeast, salt, and maybe some flavor you want to add to it. What else? Water. Yeah, you need water for the bread. Otherwise, it's just gonna be actual flour with some dry ingredients. So you need water, right? Or milk. Or if you want to make it with yogurt, yogurt. There, another great bread to make is flour and yogurt. That's it. or self-rising flour, which you can make at home very easily. Look into your food. Everything, if your gut is healthy, your nervous system will be healthy. You won't experience stress in the way that you experience it now. You won't experience anxiety in the way that you experience it now. You can cure your anxiety, you can cure your depression by curing your gut. Okay, so that was just the first one. Can help release the tension and this and help you to so exercise helps to release the stress hormones as well, which promotes relaxation and a sense of well-being in a healthy and constructive manner, not in a destructive matter, because when you are experiencing stress or you get angry and you release that stress, you are experiencing destruction. And then you feel the loss of your energy, you feel tired and exhausted, and you start to beat yourself up because you should know better, you should do better, but you couldn't control yourself. So exercise can help you to control that as well. The second one is mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness practices such as mindfulness meditation or mindful breathing or going for a walk, whether it's on a treadmill or preferably outside, barefoot, no socks, no shoes, connect to the ground, look into the science behind it. You might be surprised, or you might already know a thing or two about the healing capabilities or the healing aspect of walking on bare ground, on barefoot, barefooted on bare ground, on soil, not necessarily on concrete, on soil or grass, sitting by the tree. Hug a tree. I know some of you might not like it. You might think it's weird, but hug a tree. It's been around much longer than you have. It has lessons, it has teachings that you can transfer onto you through the tree by simply spending time with it. It has a soul, whether you believe it or not. It has energy to it, and anything that has energy, it is alive in one shape or form. Maybe not in the way that we see what alive is, or some of you might see as what alive is, as a human to human or human to animals or critters, but trees are alive. There is energy in there and there is a soul. It's just experiencing life in a different way than you and I are. And with mindfulness and mindfulness practices and with meditation, it helps men and women. It helps every human being to become more aware of their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, understand and learn who they are versus who they're being, allowing to respond to stress and allowing to respond to anger in a much more calmer and more balanced manner and way. It might even help you to pause and respond versus react. And when we react, more often than not, we can find ourselves feeling bad about reacting. But when we respond, it takes time for us to figure out and identify how we want to respond, and then we respond from a place of wanting to respond versus reacting from a place of reacting. And you get to become and increase your self-awareness as well, manage your emotions, and promote your inner calmness as well. The third thing that you can do is deep breathing exercises. You're feeling a certain way that does not feel good. Breathe in deeply into your belly for the count of 4. Hold for the count of 4, and then breathe out to a count of 4. You want to do it even longer, breath in and breath out, and longer hold. Do for a count of 5. It's easy. You can do it anywhere. Nobody even needs to know. You slowly breathe in, slowly breathe out. When you're feeling anxious, check your breath. You're either breathing too quickly or too shallow into your chest, especially if you have a sitting job. Like myself, you can find yourself breathing into your chest and not bring it into your belly like you're meant to. Nobody teaches, schools don't teach us these things, right? They don't teach us how to meditate. They don't teach us about mindfulness. They don't teach us about deep breathing. They don't teach us a lot of the things that we actually need, even how to manage money and our lives. So, this is where now you get the opportunity to learn how to breathe. And also, another reason why you might find yourself feeling anxious is maybe you're actually holding your breath and not breathing at all. So, breathe in slowly every single day. Practice this. Look into different breathing practices. Wim Hof is amazing. This is the go-to for a lot of men that I hear them using it. My husband enjoys using the Wim Hof breathing techniques as well. It's his go-to, has been for ever since he got introduced to it. And I myself use it once in a while. It's it's really, really helpful, and it's really, really calming, and it trains you in ways that you might not even know or recognize that it's training you. And practicing deep breathing exercises and meditation or progressive muscle relaxation can help calm the mind, the nervous system, the body, and reducing or relieving stress and lowering your anger levels or removing them entirely. And another thing about anger that you might know or might not know is that humans can experience anger for a maximum of 2 minutes. Anything after 2 minutes, it is just you focusing on it and you playing into that anger or giving into that anger, and then it expands, 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 and it can become your whole entire day and weeks and months, and then you become anger. And then you're not feeling the happiness and joy that is opposite of anger. Now, the fourth thing that you can do is something that some of you might not like to do, but it is recommended and it is very helpful. And there's many ways of how you can do it and where you can do it, but it is journaling. Expressing your feelings and thoughts through journaling practice can be extremely, extremely helpful because by you taking out what's in your mind, those thoughts, those feelings, their emotions in your mind and your body, and writing them down, you can clearly see what they are and you gain clarity and perspective on what is causing you stress. What are those thoughts that are spiraling in your mind and causing you to feel a certain way? You get to know yourself in ways that you are not going to be able to get to know yourself any other way. And another one, number five, is talking it out. Just talk. Don't hold on to things. Don't keep these things inside. Don't hesitate to talk to a trusted friend, a trusted family member, or a therapist about your feelings, about your emotions, about your thoughts, about what you're going through, about what you're dealing with. Because if you keep it all in, it is impossible to see it clearly because it's almost like you keeping things in a dark cave and expecting to see clearly what's in that dark cave. In order for you to see what's in that dark cave, you gotta bring that out. And the way that you can bring it out of your head is to talk it out or to write these things out. And you don't need to have a physical journal. You can have it on your phone. You can have it digitally. And you can even put a lock in it so no one can go in there, no one can read it. And also when it comes to the journal, when you're signing up for these apps, read what they're suggesting you to read to see if it's actually going to be private or not. Because some of these things are not. If you're getting a physical journal, you can put a lock in it. You're a man, you're handy. You could even attach and glue a lock to it that no one can open. Create your own journal. Make it metal on the outside. Have fun with it. Twiddle daddle on the outside. Make it yours, whatever it is going to be. And that's how you can practice the next thing, which is creative outlets. But before we go into creative outlets, let's finish talking about talking it out. Sharing your emotions. can and does provide um, relief and support and validation and perspective and different perspective outside of just yours, and alleviate those emotional burdens that you have. All of us have emotional burdens, negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative emotions that we don't like. And if we don't like it, then we gotta do something about it. So talk about it, because in the process of talking, you're also getting it out in the open, and you can't unsay what you said. You can't unhear what you hear, and you can only deal with it after. And by bringing it out into the open, whether you're talking about it or you're writing it, you get to understand yourself and your internal world. And only then can you do something about it. Get it out of that dark cave and into the open, and then face it head on. So, the next one, number six, like I mentioned already, creative outlets. Be creative, explore your curiosities, all these different ways how you can practice your creativity. Maybe it's painting for you. Maybe it's drawing. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's playing music. Maybe it's even dancing. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's writing a book. Maybe you want to do videos. Maybe you want to create journals for the masculine men out there and make them nice and solid and metal with the locks. Whatever it is, go and do it. Maybe it becomes your side hustle as well. Maybe that's going to be your creative outlet. Because as men, at the core, your essence and your desire is to be a provider. As for women, as being a caregiver. And as a provider, there's many ways how you can provide. And if you are wanting to create financial abundance and financial wealth in your family now and for generations to come, go into the rabbit hole, learn what it takes to become wealthy, how rich become rich and how they stay rich. And maybe turn your hobby into um, a money making machine, right? Go into those creative self expressions and those places where you want to explore your curiosity, and allow yourself to do that, because sometimes you might find yourself not allowing yourself and feeling like you can't, I don't have time, not right now, or I'm not allowed to, whatever story you might be carrying. You have one lifetime. You have all these different things that you want to try out, all these things that you're curious about. Go and play around, have fun with them, and see where it leads you. Expressing your emotions through creative outlets is very helpful. Like I said, writing, maybe even DIY, maybe you want to be renovating, and it provides a constructive way to channel and release your pent up emotions. Um, okay, so let me move this out of the way. Okay, number seven is going to be time in nature. As I was talking about earlier, going for a walk in nature, but spending time outdoors in nature and with no shoes, no socks, just connecting to the earth, to Mother Earth, to where you came from and where one day you might return one way or another. Going for a hike, maybe it's even gardening that you want to do, or simply going for a walk in a park, or a stroll down the street or around the block. Get yourself out there. And if you catch yourself thinking, and let's say you're going for a walk with no shoes, and you catch yourself thinking what other people are thinking about you, what they might be thinking about you, I want you to pause and remember that all the things that you're thinking and saying and believing and assuming everybody else is thinking of you, is not what they're thinking, it's not what they're saying. It's what you're thinking of yourself, it's what you're saying of yourself. It will help you to understand yourself more. And in the end, you're just assuming. Yes, you might be right, but what if you're wrong? What if you're entirely wrong on what someone is thinking about you when they look at you, when you think they're judging you and they're not? Stop doing that to yourself. Stop creating these negative stories in your mind about what somebody else might be thinking or how somebody else might be judging you, because you're doing that to yourself. And you can just as easily create positive stories and positive interpretations of what somebody else might be thinking or saying or judging you for or how, in positive ways, not in negative ways. And that's going to feel much better. And the more that you focus on the positive, the more the positive will grow. And those things are the things and the experiences that will come knocking at your door, and you will open the door and say, "Welcome, come on in," versus all the negative things where they come knocking on your door and you're trying to shut the door and close the door, and they just won't go away, and you say, "Why can't you go away? Why won't you go away?" And it's because, well, you invited me in, and now you're trying to shut the door on me, and yet you're still inviting me in just by simply thinking about me and focusing on me, and you're still not letting me in. um yeah. Okay, so connecting with nature can have a calming effect on the mind and body, especially if you are barefooted. If it's raining, go out there in the rain. Enjoy the rain. After it's done raining, if you don't want to get wet, go out there when it's done raining and smell the fresh, moist air. I love the smell of pine trees. Luckily, we have some pine trees in the backyard that I can go out there and I can smell and I can enjoy it. And other times, I just smell the outside, right? When it's raining, open the windows and enjoy it in that way. Number 8, healthy lifestyle choices. I started talking about a balanced diet. You got to maintain it. You got to prioritize adequate sleep, the right amount of sleep for you. You're your own scientist. You got to figure out what the right amount of sleep is for you. For some people, it's 9 hours, while for others, it's 4 hours, and for everybody else, it's somewhere in between. So you got to figure out what the right amount of sleep is for you, what is the perfect and ideal bedtime for you is, and wake up time for you. One of the best books I had read is called Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life. Absolutely incredible, amazing. If you're not a reader, get Audible and listen to it on Audible. If you don't want to pay monthly fees, which is really monthly credits that you get to use towards the books that you want, then you can maybe find a copy on YouTube for free. If you do enjoy reading, find a used copy and read that. Absolutely amazing book. It can help you to understand your cycle and you in ways that you won't any other ways, because it's not taught at schools. And you can figure out how to change your life based on changing your schedule and how you have been living so far, and you'll see it. So adequate sleep and limiting alcohol and caffeine intake, and any other substances that you might be using, and also screen time. It's another substance that we use. Limit them, because all of them impact and have a tremendous or enormous impact on your mood and stress levels. Alcohol is a depressant. It lowers you. Yeah, you might feel great in the moment, but then you're gonna feel crappy and you're gonna feel low and lower in yourself and just low energy following days. And it doesn't leave your system the next day. It stays within you. Anything that you put in your body is going to have an effect and a side effect, whether you like it or not. Some of them have good effects and side effects, while others bad, or some others have detrimental impact and side effects on our life and our body and our well-being and even the longevity. Number 9 is seek professional help. If stress and anger persists and it starts to interfere with your daily life, I want you to really consider seeking help from a mental health professional who can provide guidance and support that is tailored to your needs. Maybe they have a program or a system that they can take you through. Um, and maybe it will be a therapist, psychiatrist, a coach, a mentor. There's so many other ones that you can hire, but one thing I will say is have interviews and make sure you're the right fit with one another. Maybe have a couple of interviews and make sure that you're the right fit because you want the right person in your corner. And you don't want anyone who is going to bring you down or who hasn't been there and done that, who is just reading from a book and does not have the experience to actually help you go through what you're going through. And they can also help you to provide effective strategies and support for managing your emotions and developing healthier coping mechanisms. And right now, many of you might be escaping your life through different um, unhealthy coping mechanisms. Some of them I already mentioned: alcohol, drugs, screen time as well, or just simply avoiding. Um, those are not healthy, and you know they're not healthy. But there are healthier ways that are not going to have a negative effect on you and on your life and on your family around you. Because here's the thing, and you already know this. You know that you have one life and you have one go at it. And one of the things that you know on some level or another is that you are going to regret not being fully present in your life and for yourself. You're going to regret escaping the things that you in the moment feel like they're the worst thing ever, but at some point later in life, you will regret not being fully present for those experiences because you could have experienced it all to its fullest and you didn't because it felt impossible and you needed to escape to help you cope. But in reality, you didn't need that escape to help you cope. You needed to journal, talk, walk, exercise, put good fuel into your Ferrari that is your body. You needed to be creative and express yourself. You needed to breathe as deeply as you can and cherish each and every breath. You needed to be mindful and you needed to meditate. That is what you needed to do. That is your coping mechanism. You needed to seek out help and see it as a strength and not see it as a weakness. Because you get to, the reason why I have learned that it is a strength to seek help and ask for help is that because I'm actually saying yes to the scariest thing ever, and that is getting to know myself, going within, and doing the work that most people will not do to become the best version of myself, to master myself day in and day out. And and seeing that as an opportunity to live a life of freedom versus feeling trapped in my life, by my life, when I would reach and numb myself with substances that were numbing me and that were not allowing me to live my life and feel and experience my life to the fullest, that were causing me to feel to not feel honestly, and feel scared of feeling because it felt like some kind of a punishment when it is absolutely not. It is such a gift to feel and to feel as deeply as we can feel, because that's another thing that we end up regretting at the end of our life, is not allowing ourselves to feel all we possibly can and to find peace in no matter what feeling or emotion we're experiencing. And the last one I want to share with you is engaging in hobbies, spending time on your hobbies, in your hobbies, and activities that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, that bring you fulfillment, that you maybe even passionate about, can serve as not only as a distraction from the stressors, but also promote relaxation and enjoyment. And on top of that, your hobbies can turn into something that you are not only passionate about, but can potentially bring an income in. And the world that we're living in right now, with prices being hiked on every single thing, a little extra money, even if it's just for vacation, can be very, very, very fun and useful. But focusing on just money, that is not where happiness and joy is. It is not. So these strategies, if you incorporate them into your daily routine, will have an effect on you and will help you to manage your stress and your anger in a healthy and a constructive and effective way. But like I said, this is not the only 10 ways. There's more to it, and each one can be entirely its own conversation topic, which we can dive deeper into each one. But feel free to share, and I actually invite you to share what are some of your strategies and coping mechanisms to help you, or that has helped you, to release stress and anger in a healthy and constructive way that has added to you and your life and did not take away. So that is all that I have for today, and I shall see you all. And I know this video was recorded, as it is my husband's birthday tomorrow on May 16th, and I am going to be spending the day with him. He took the day off, and so will I. So I'm preparing ahead of time to make sure that everything is set in place, ready to go, and that I'm fully present. But I'm not neglecting anything um, that I have chosen and decided to do every single week. So if you enjoyed this Get Your Shit Together weekly live guidance with myself, Yana Kasperczak, and especially like I said earlier, if you're listening to this podcast on a different platform outside of the group, share it with a man in your life who can benefit from these strategies, especially after listening to the whole video. You can tell, or audio, depending on how you're receiving it on your end, and you know this is going to be beneficial for him and this is something that he's open to hearing, then please feel free to share with him. But at the same time, it's not limited to just men. Share with your friend, with your mother, with your sister, and help them get their shit together and their internal world together, and help them to release stress and anger that they might be dealing with themselves. So that is all. Thank you very much. And until we see each other next time live, it will be on Tuesday on my personal page at 11:30 a.m. ish. And I say ish because it's right after the Sacred Circle, so sometimes it ends a little bit later. So we'll see each other live on that time. And until then, have an amazing long weekend. Bye, everybody.